Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions from the worlds of sports, pop culture, social media, music, lifestyle, news, everything really depending on the guest we talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. This is one of our exclusive NHL 2020 draft exclusive interviews where players will have a chance to get their name called and they're one step closer to their dream to play in the National Hockey League. We're speaking to a forward who plays for the Edmonton Oil Kings in the WHL. We're talking to Jake Neighbours. Jake, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you for having me on. I'm happy to be here.
No, absolutely. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. It's kind of like the calm before the storm, but it's a bit of a strange storm right now. You know what I mean? Like it's October and we're talking about the draft.
Yeah, it's definitely some different times for sure, but at the end of the day, I think the day's finally, getting pretty close and, I'm just excited to be here. So.
No, absolutely. Talk a little bit about, teams that have an opportunity to draft Jake Neighbours. What are they going to get with Jake Neighbours?
Yeah, I think you're going to get a player's, versatile. I think, I bring a lot of different aspects to my game and, but I think I bring a good skill set of offensive abilities. I think, I have the ability to score and, make plays and I feel that the hockey IQ of my game is pretty high. So, but at the same time, I think I could be a bit of a grinder as well, a bit of an agitator out there. I like to get physical, finish my checks and, really just, try and contribute however I can on the ice.
A lot of focal point with forwards is on the center because they say the center is kind of the game breaker and everything. You're a winger. What is kind of your opinion on how the winger has kind of evolved in the last couple of years, specifically with junior hockey? Because the game changes every year, Jake.
Yeah, for sure. I think, definitely at one point, that middle low support was kind of the trend of hockey and, the easiest way to get out of the zone. But, as you said, the games adapt and, teams adapt, systems change and, forechecks, you have different looks. So you have to have, new ways to get out of the zone, new ways to enter the zone. And I think, a lot of that is run through a winger nowadays. I think, kicking it out to the wall when you're entering the offensive blue line is usually a winger's handle. So, it's definitely changing every year though, for sure. And, I think all forwards are very involved in it.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where, there's a lot of unknowns right now. The unknown draft year every year is, whether players get drafted or where they go, you know what I mean? But now there's kind of there's the up in the air in terms of when official leagues start and everything. I mean, for you specifically though, I mean, you just try to go day by day and just kind of try to just train and kind of roll with the punches, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think, one thing I think we've all learned about this is, there's uncertainty all the time in the world right now. And, I'm definitely just kind of taking it day by day, like you said. And, I don't have too many expectations or, things like that of when we're going to go back or fire up again. But, obviously I would love for it to be sooner rather than later. But, it's just the world right now. We can't have too high of expectations.
Have you had a chance to watch some of the Stanley Cup playoffs or highlights at least?
Yeah, I rarely missed a game. So I was watching most of them.
Have you noticed that is some of the hardest hockey on the planet? It's insane how many hits are in this game, how they're grinding in the corners. It's pretty crazy how the game's evolving.
Oh, for sure. It's insane. I think, when you put, a couple grown men in a bubble and, give them nothing but one objective to win a Stanley Cup, it's going to be some pretty intense hockey. So, it's definitely something fun to watch for sure. And, like you said, it was very entertaining hockey and, lots of hits, lots of goals, great defense, goaltending, all of it. So, it's definitely very entertaining.
A lot of players have kind of little things that they like to do, little exercises, little stick handling drills, things that they don't necessarily have to do, on the ice, something they could do at home type thing. For kind of the players that are kind of watching that, want to maybe one day play in the WHL or play in the National Hockey League, do you have any kind of little exercises or things that you specifically done that other people might not have done that kind of work for you, Jake, that you could share with us?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, I do most of my trainings in my gym. I don't do anything really too, exclusive at home or anything like that. I think, kind of growing up, I think it's really important to do things like road hockey, go to the outdoor rink and, just mess around with your friends and your buddies. I think, it goes a long way in terms of, fun, like keeping the game fun, having passion for it. And, at the same time, when you're going to an outdoor rink and, you're stick handling a lot and shooting pucks and stuff, you are essentially getting better, even though you may not think it. Sometimes the ODR is the best place to work on your hands. So, I definitely say that for sure.
You got a chance to play in the CHL Top Prospects game.
Yeah.
Which was before all this kind of happened. There's obviously players in there that are on the radar a lot with the Alexis Lafrenières, the Cole Perfettis, the Quentin Byfields. Were there some other players that you didn't have a chance to kind of get to know or play with that you were kind of impressed with in that game?
Yeah, for sure. I think, there's definitely a couple players I've never seen before in that game. And, like that Tyson Forrester, he had a pretty big prospects game and I had, never played against him before. So, I'd say he stood out for sure. I think, other than that, for the most part, I think I played with the rest of the guys, whether it be, at a Hockey Canada event or, Hockey Alberta or whatever it would have been. But, for the most part, I was pretty familiar with the group of guys there. But, definitely I think, Forrester had a pretty good game.
You mentioned, participating in Hockey Canada events. The focal point right now is the NHL draft, but an event obviously that's circled on the calendars and becomes a focal point for a lot of players of your age is the World Junior Hockey Championship, the World Juniors, which is becoming one of the biggest events on the planet, let alone just in hockey. I mean, is it safe to say that that's kind of like after NHL, there's other things, there's the WHL, you want to win the championship, but that's obviously like an objective as well to possibly make that team.
Yeah, 100%. I think, growing up, World Juniors is definitely one of the biggest things you watch as a kid. And, every Christmas with your family or your buddies, you're watching the World Juniors. So, it'd definitely be an honor to be selected and get a chance to go try out for that team.
Absolutely. What have you kind of learned at Hockey Canada events that you've participated in? Because the international hockey and like the hockey played now is obviously completely different. But are there some things that you kind of were able to grow use and grow from as a person from those events that you've been involved with already, Jake?
Yeah, for sure. I think they treat you so first class that you learn a lot of things, about respect, about how to handle yourself and carry yourself as a professional. They teach you a lot of that stuff at Hockey Canada events. And, also in terms of hockey, their coaching is always great. And the players you're playing with are always, of an elite caliber. So, you can take things from, coaches and, players and be a sponge and just soak everything up.
Absolutely. And one last kind of question. I mean, there's a lot of talk about hockey and stuff. What is Jake Neighbours into besides hockey? Like, you big video game guy. Like, what are you kind of into?
Yeah, I think my number one hobby that I love to do away from the rink is spike ball.
Love spike ball.
Yeah, I love playing with my buddies, and we go out in this field and we'll play for hours in a day after workouts and stuff like that, and it's so much fun. So I'd have to say probably that. But
But are you a video game guy here and there too?
Yeah, like here and there, I'll play. Like I play PGA 2K21 now. Like since it came out, like that's a fun game, and I'll play games for a couple months and then just kind of move on.
Have you played or heard of the game Among Us? Have you heard of that game?
I've heard of it. Yeah, my buddies told me about it yesterday, but I haven't looked into it too much.
It's a lot of fun. It's crazy how these things just catch on. Eh? Like remember Fortnite? Like Fortnite just kind of exploded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty nuts. It's the calm before the storm a little bit. It's unfortunate that, there's not an actual draft that you were able to attend, but it's going to be kind of a special moment regardless because you're going to be on this virtual kind of chat or whatever it is, and like you're going to be able to be with your family as well. Are you kind of like looking forward to this unique kind of experience you're going to cherish for the rest of your life?
Yeah, for sure. I think, you have to find some way to look at it positively, and definitely a way to do that is this is the first draft that's, ever been like this for the National Hockey League. So, if you look at it that way, it's kind of a unique experience, and I'm very excited to go through it with my family.
Absolutely. Well, Jake, thank you so much for coming on Popternative for a little bit to chat, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was fun chatting with you.
Where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
My Instagram handle is jneighbours21, and my Twitter is Jake_Neighbours.
And I asked you before, but I always ask this at the end of these NHL draft interviews. Why should a NHL team draft Jake Neighbours, and what specifically are you working on in order to go pro one day?
Yeah, I think a team should draft me because I'm going to give you max effort. I'm going to bring you character and leadership and a lot of things like that. But at the same time, you're going to have someone who's a talented hockey player and has the will and the want to really grind and work hard and do whatever it takes to win. So, in specific, I think I'm working on my skating right now, trying to become more of an explosive player. Working on my shot and trying to become a more effective goal scorer and just trying to improve all things all around.
That's a good answer. Thank you so much, man. I wish you all the best and enjoy the draft, man. It's going to be an exciting time for you guys, so enjoy it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Jake Neighbours and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.